Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Maria Henderson here, your online business strategist and soul advisor, spiritual intuitive for women business owners, female entrepreneurs, moms who are in business and want to be in business or want to be in business and have no clue what to do. Welcome back to my channel, and today's live we're going to talk about how to manage your clients' expectations in 2021. How to manage client expectations in 2021 in your service rendered business. So if you are a service rendered business owner, this is the video for you, because the thing about providing services is that you need to spell out exactly what it is that your client will be receiving from you, tangible or intangible, so that they know exactly what to expect when they work with you. So please remember to subscribe, hit the bell button for any new videos and lives going forward, and to be a part of this delicious community of female entrepreneurs. Thank you in advance. So to jump right in, really cool, interesting journey of mine as a coach, a female entrepreneur coach, and an online business owner. So in the beginning of all of this, I didn't know that I was going to learn about myself in this capacity. The reason why it's such a big deal, and I always talk about personal growth, following your intuition in this journey, is because it's going to come up. So I think one of the fears that I commonly hear from my clients is, how do I have my clients enjoy the program, which means they fear that they're not going to like the program, and they have a fear that they're not going to drive results to their clients. So, that is probably one of the most common conversations I have with clients that I'm currently working with is, how do I ensure that the program I'm offering is what my clients will enjoy, number one. And number two, how do I ensure that I will drive results for my clients? These are the two biggest things that my clients are battling with. And in the forefront, it sounds as if they're really concerned about their business and their client results, right? In the forefront. But if you dig deeper beyond what this forefront looks like and the mask, beyond that mask, it's usually connected to not being liked personally, right? It's connected to the fear of bad reputation. What if I sell them this program, they buy it, and they don't get results? Now they're going to go and talk about the fact that they didn't get any results from my program. And then no one's going to like me. And then I'm going to get outcasted from the community. And then I'm going to be by myself. And then I'm going to be forced to go back to work and find a job somewhere else. It's 11/11, you guys. Make a wish. It's 11/11. Wish. Okay. I hope y'all made a wish. And then they have to go find a job, right? They have to quit their business because they found a job because this one client just ruined their life, right? And then they're back to their shitty ass life working for someone else, right? So if you look at this, the pattern is that they're afraid of the disapproval of other people. They're afraid of that, number one. And they are afraid of not being able to manage it, not being able to handle it, not being able to emotionally overcome it confidently, and still go out and get new clients, and still go out and put out marketing content, and still go out and sell, and still go out and talk to people, and still go out and book strategy calls, and still go out and make your offers. Because they're afraid of this one person that will ruin and abolish their whole drive. Now, when we spell it out like that, it's kind of silly. Like, well, it's just one person. The fuck? Right? It's just one person. And that's the worst case scenario if someone doesn't get results from your program. It's the worst case scenario. Now, when you are in coaching, you're literally supporting them. Now I'm talking about coaching service rendered business, right? Or if you actually do a service for people, for example, if you're a social media manager, or if you're an accountant for business owners, or let's say you are a book manager, you help people write books, right? So these are services you're rendering to people. They're not necessarily coming out with a trinket from you. They are going to come out with the knowledge you have. You're sharing your knowledge. So when it comes to managing people's expectations, number one, in this story of people are afraid of bad reputation, they're afraid of not driving results to people because they just don't know yet, right? They don't know if it even works yet. They're just kind of winging it. When in all reality, what people are teaching is the things that they already know, that they put into place in their own life, and they know works for their own life. It works for their own personal life. And it's caused them to be the person they are today. So if you really ask, does it work? Yeah, it works because you're doing it in your own life. But will other people be able to execute each step the way you are telling them to? That is on the person. And that's where I remind my clients, right? It doesn't matter whether, whether you have these fears about bad reputation, bad this, bad that. What matters is, are you willing to show up for your client each and every day, each and every week, each and every whatever time frame you deliver your service? Are you willing to show up for them minus your limiting beliefs, removing your personal agenda, removing your ego-driven shit that you do, right? Removing all of that. Can you show up for these clients that sign into your program and teach them your knowledge from a place of teacher, student, not lateral student. Oh, I'm a student myself. Let me teach them from a student perspective. No, you have to teach them from a teacher-student perspective or a coach-client perspective. Are you willing to show up every day? So when it comes to managing people's expectations, number one, you have to show up when you say you're going to show up, right? Number one. Number two, you have to be truly honest about what it is that you are rendering. You're rendering a service. You're teaching them exactly what it is that they signed up for. And if they do it right, they get the result, the promise, the big promise that you said that you were going to get for them. They do all of these things right, then they get that big promise. They receive that end result. And then they can replicate the steps to get that result again, replicate the steps and get that result again. However, their success is in their hands. Their success is in their hands. Their ability to execute each step quickly is how quickly they can get results. Now, if they take some time because they have their own funk to fucking deal with, if they have that funk, that monkey mind that's kind of limiting the ego, if their ego is super strong and kind of holding them down from growing into this new person, then have a lot of work ahead of them before they can actually go out in a big way and execute whatever it is that you are rendering. And you can literally say that, right? You can literally say that. You can literally say, well, to be honest, my system is pretty simple. However, the complexity of the human mind can make it overwhelming, right? So depending from person to person, how much growth you need to have for you to execute it is how quickly you can get results. That's how easy you can explain managing your expectations. Now that you can do in the beginning of rendering your service, But you also have to remind them every time you guys have a call or every time you guys have a connection. Listen, how quickly you get through this, how quickly you can overcome your limiting beliefs in this, how quickly you can go out there in a big way and not caring about anybody else's responses to you or anybody else's thought processes towards you or anybody else's rejection towards you or anything like that. How quickly you can go out and do this over and over and over and over and over again is how quickly you'll get the results. You have to remind them every step of the way, right? Hey, how quickly you get results is how quickly you can take and embody all of these new ways of thinking and new ways of being. Because really, the system is easy. You can teach them a system, right? Let's say you're a nutrition coach and you are teaching them how to eat, right? How to look at food differently, how to prepare food differently, how to buy food, right? So when you have it in the fridge, it's already kind of right there. You're teaching them a system. However, how the person responds to food or how the person takes all of this on throughout their week, throughout the days of the week, is all on them. And how quickly they're receptive to the new concepts and mindsets and ideas you are telling them that is more beneficial is how quickly they'll be able to lose weight, how quickly they'll be able to overcome whatever patterns they have in their head and create new patterns that is more nutritional for them, advantageous for their health, more confidence boosting, and then it just is it builds their ability to continue on this new lifestyle. How quickly they can do that is how quickly they can get results. So you can spell this out every single time, every single moment of the time you guys talk. At the end of the call, remember how quickly you adopt all of this is how quickly you can get results in the program. Negating going outside of the program, trying different things that we never talked about, listening to other people, being easily influenced, not taming your mind, succumbing to your natural tendencies that are not beneficial to you, following the patterns that your life has given you and not switching it up because it's easier to follow your patterns, those tendencies are going to hold you back, right? Reminding them every time that how quickly, if you want results tomorrow, you better be doing the work, right? And not the systems work, because that's easy. It's the mindset work. It's the laying the foundation of who you need to become to achieve the result. Laying the foundation of who you need to become to achieve the result. And this is one of the biggest things that I noticed in my clients is that the quicker you lay the foundation of who you need to become, the quicker you do that, the faster you get results. I have clients, we are on our last month together, and they're finally coming to signing on clients, 4-figure clients. And they're recalling all of our talks week in and week out. But it took them to really get out of their own way to make this happen. It really took them I'm tired of living the pattern I've been living. So I'm going to do whatever the fuck she's telling me to do already, right? It's almost like crunch time is here. Let me go fucking do it. It's like the last month in the program, there's a fire that's lit. And it's like, let me go do it. And it's interesting because they've had all of this available to them in the course of the program, but only now when the fire is lit and I'm telling them, hey, our last call is here. We need to get you doing the real work. Fuck the systems. Go into the field. Go and start talking to people for real. Do the thing you're most afraid of. Because once you start doing that, it becomes easier. It becomes predictable. People start showing you sides that you're like, that is eye-opening for you as a business owner in your niche and your field. You start learning about the predictability of your clients. You start learning about how they come to you and what kind of form and what are their challenges. Everything becomes more predictable if you start going out to do it, right? But the holdup is the unpredictability of it in the beginning. The holdup is, well, I don't know what's going to happen if I put myself out there. And then it just paralyzes them, right? Until, at least for the clients I'm working with, until it's like, hey, y'all, we got our last month in. What the deal is? What's the deal? What are we going to do about this last month? Are we going to go do it? Or are you going to come out of here being the same you, doing the same shit and getting the same results? And surprisingly, the month of December is like the magical month, because all of a sudden, bam, we got calls in, bam, we're converting them to clients, bam, we got money in the bank, bam, we're overcoming money conversations, making offers. They still feel nervous. However, they're doing it. They're in the field. You know, the thing about like all of this mindset and transformational work, it's a contact sport. You need to be in it to get the results, right? You can't be sitting down just looking at everybody else and kind of almost like pushing shit around to make it seem like you're doing the thing when you're not. You're not doing the real get in it work. How to manage client results. Number one, state the truth from the beginning. Your success is your own. I give you the knowledge, the wherewithal, the steps, the mindset, what to adopt, who to let go of, all of those limiting beliefs, the systems, things that are profitable, you know, depending on your niche, obviously. Be super upfront with that. Managing results is about honesty and transparency. You can also refer back to client experience. All of the experiences your previous clients have had. You can talk about that as well. You know, I notice that the clients that get results in my program are the clients that decide that they are willing to grow into something different and decide to put the work in. Number two, the second thing to manage client expectations is to remind them every single time you guys are in contact. Listen, if you want results in this program, you better get into it. Face the fear. The faster you face the fear, the faster you are going to break through and actually get the result you're looking for. The faster you do it, the faster you get out of your own way and let the work and process actually happen for you, the faster you'll be able to get the result. Those are my two key things in my own coaching business that I've noticed that I've had to learn to do. One thing I didn't talk about was understanding that I'm not their friend. That's probably one of the biggest things. Because over time, you know, I talk to these clients for a long period of time. You know, my program is several months. And I talk to them and I get really close to them and I hear about all of their fears and what's held them up. And, you know, we talk a lot about personal stuff. I've you know, the transition of my business, I've become a lot more spiritual than anything. And the spirituality part of all of this has held me in a place of how do we heal parts of yourself so you can go out and do the big thing that you are looking to go get and go have. So healing means they open up some very vulnerable things to me and share with me some very vulnerable things, and we work through them together in a very spiritual way. Now, what comes with that is a relationship, right? We build a very foundational relationship, professional, but very intentional in terms of how do we heal this so that you can go out in a big way in your business. And in the beginning, it was really clouded for me because there was a time where I would wonder, maybe I'm too hard on people. Maybe I am not being softer with them. Maybe I am being too soft and not too hard. It was always maybe I'm not doing it and conveying it the right way. Maybe that's why they're not understanding me, right? I had all of these questions in my head. And the cool thing about what I do is that I record all of our calls and I send it to them. I send it to them so that they can reference anything that they have questions about, they can go back and listen to. But the cool thing about me and doing that is I listen to my own calls and I see how I show up on my calls so that I know for next time I can either be less that way or more that way, right? And I assess my own calls from a standpoint of how can I improve how I convey and articulate my message to my clients. And I noticed that when I go and assess my calls, I notice that I show up perfectly. Like, yeah, I'm human. I cuss and I say shit that, sometimes I may have, it would have been okay not to say. But for the most part, I think I show up pretty good in terms of what the client needed me to show up as, right? And what that tells me is there was a part of me that was worried about not being liked, right? There was a part of me that was like, well, what if I'm too hard and they don't like me? What if I'm too nice and they don't like me and respect me? It was always going to the bottom of, again, not being liked. And I didn't realize that until I looked at what is the real issue here, right? Is it the fact that I don't know myself as a coach yet? Or is it the fact that I am looking for validation from my clients, right? And I realized that I was worried that they may not like me because I've gotten so close to my clients. Like, I've gotten close to them, right? And when I was in my practices and blessing this journey, blessing my clients, I bless my clients every day. I bless so many things. It's crazy now. And I never used to do that. But, what you give is what you get. So I bless the shit out of everything, including all the relationships I have. So what I realized in this journey is that I wanted so badly that my clients like me because I've gotten close to them. They became kind of like a business sister to me, or maybe a friend, right? And I had to remind myself, these clients are not hiring a friend. They don't hire people. They don't spend thousands and thousands of dollars so that they can go be a friend with you. They spend thousands and thousands of dollars. They've invested thousands and thousands of dollars with me so that I can show up as a coach for them. So I can be that person that can kind of kick their ass if they need. So I can be that person to show compassion if they are being too hard on themselves. So I can be that person to say, hey, this is the higher vision of you. Let's get back to work and stop dicking around. And the thing about coaching is that you don't ever learn that until you're in it, right? You don't ever learn that managing client expectations is probably one of the biggest things I've learned in my journey. Not the sales. Yeah, talking to people and really articulating my value, making that connection, really, really huge for me. However, Once I got clients, I had to learn the importance between being a coach and being a friend. There's a difference, right? And managing client expectations is all about understanding your position as a coach. Your position as a coach is strictly a coach. Over time, you get to know the person. Over time, you develop some authentic relationships. But ultimately, staying grounded in that coach mindset is really what's going to propel your client forward, right? Not caring about, ooh, did she like me during our call? Was I too hard? Was I too soft? Right? Managing client expectations is all about understanding that you are rendering a service and you're not here to like diddle daddle and talk makeup with someone who just paid you thousands of dollars. I hope that this was something very valuable for you guys. You know, I don't see a lot of videos on how to show up as a coach. I don't see and I think there are videos on how to show up as a coach, but I don't think there's videos, at least that I found, that teach you the difference between being a friend and being a coach. And then also the transition from being strangers to being actually really knowing somebody. Because that's the transition I've seen in my own clients. We were strangers at first, guards were up, and then over time, it's like, I know them. I know their monkey mind patterns. I know what's come up for them if they didn't get their results. I know what behavioral stuff will come up if they did get results. You know, like there's a transition of that where you were first strangers and you develop that relationship, and really coming to awareness of this and understanding that, hey, even though you're close to them now, that doesn't mean you guys are friends. You still uphold your part, which is you're the coach. You still uphold your part, which is you are going to keep them accountable. You are going to keep them focused. So that, guys, is how you manage client expectations. And if you guys want to work with moi, please click the links below. Please don't forget, subscribe, hit the bell button, and I will see you guys again here in the next couple of days. Have an amazing week.